Today I'm going to take a little bit of a look at the performance of some of my videos on my channel and basically look at, the best performing and worst performing in terms of number of views, and then also share with you a tool that there is on TubeBuddy that can help you basically, assess the views that you've had and really sort of dive into your back catalogue, I guess. So that is the idea for today. So the first thing that you can use is there is a tool in TubeBuddy to actually download all of your existing videos and in terms of the titles, all the details related to them into a spreadsheet, so then you can perform some analysis there. Obviously, there's stuff that we can do in YouTube Studio, there's stuff you can do in TubeBuddy as well, but being a bit of an Excel geek, having it in Excel form is always useful to me. And by the way, the prompt for me to have a look at this today was that I did hit a little bit of a milestone yesterday, which was 300 uploads to my channel. Now, if you're following along with the channel, you'll know that I'm trying to hit 365 videos by the 14th of May, which is my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. And actually, some of these don't really count. So some of these are shorts, which I'm not counting. But I think my actual real tally is around about 270 something. So I've still got quite a way to go between now and May. But fingers crossed, I'll hit that goal. But anyway, so that is just a little bit of a milestone that I hit yesterday. So I thought, well, I'll have a little look at my videos, because although I have got a sort of clear idea in my mind of my, the audience, if you will, that I'm aiming my content for, and that is going to be the sort of main driver, but it is still always interesting to have a look at, where I have been getting views and where I've been maybe falling short. Hey, Keely, great to see you. Thank you very much for the champagne. I'll take soda water instead, but appreciate the thought. So let's have a little look at this tool that I was talking about. So if you come into your YouTube Studio, I suppose, if you're using TubeBuddy, is the easiest way to get into it. You can just get to it from here. Go to Website Tools, and you've got this option here which says backups and export. Now, when you click on that, what that's going to do is actually open up the web interface of TubeBuddy, which is something like this. And it'll take you to this area here which says backup and exports. And from here, you can say start a new backup, and then you've got these two options: either only backup videos since my last successful backup, or backup my entire channel, every video. So you can see that I've just literally run one of these. So I haven't actually done any sort of proper analysis in the way that I normally would, but I have got a download that has just completed, and that actually says 316. So I'm not sure where the discrepancy there comes from. Maybe that's private videos and things like that. But in any case, that has downloaded, and basically what that looks like is it is a CSV file which looks something like this. So here you've got a list of your video IDs. It's got a list of the channel ID, which is obviously going to be the same because it's just your channel. It's got the title of the video. You've also got all of the tags that you've used. I'm not going to expand that one because that might get a little bit wide as in terms of the column width. You've also got the description. It looks like there's a few odd characters there, so that's probably some little emoji or something like that I'd use. But here, basically, you have got all of the full descriptions. You've got the state of it, whether it's private, public, unlisted, or whatever. You've got the publishing date, the category ID, so the type of content it is. Someone asked me, in fact, it was Paul asked me the other day about how I classify my videos. I always started out classing them as how-to and style. Not that I'm particularly stylish, but they're all kind of how-to-do stuff. So I figured that made sense. But then at some point, I switched over to be education. And when you change to education, then there are a load of subcategories in there that you can have, which are optional. So I've just basically changed it to education and then left all of those optional ones blank. I don't know whether that was the right thing to do. It just seemed like the right thing to do for me. So if anyone's got any other information on the best way to categorize things, I'd love to hear it. It's also got a link to the thumbnail as well. So you can basically go, and if you want to grab the thumbnail again, you can do that. Then it's got the URL and the file name that was actually uploaded as well. So useful in that case, if you do any sort of analysis or something like that of your results and you want to go and grab the original file, then you'll know what the file was actually called. The date of the backup, the view count, the comment count, and the like count. So if you want to go and look for things that got exceptionally high number of likes, sometimes it's easy to lose track of all of these things. Obviously, as you have more content on there, then you're not necessarily going to be seeing what's going on. And it's interesting just to be able to come and have a look at this and do the sort of analysis after the fact. And the dislike count. I'm glad to see there's lots of zeros in there. I'm sure there are there we go, there's one. Somebody didn't like that video. My daughter calls those boos. She says, have you had any booze recently? Not as in booze in the English term drinking, but as in boo. So fortunately, I've not had a huge number. There are a few in there, so there you go. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, aren't they? And you've also got the length in there in seconds. So I have been actually documenting this or tracking this, I should say, in my own spreadsheet where I've been updating it as I've been going along. But if you did want to do something like that yourself, then you can always go and see. I do find it amusing or interesting what is the total length of my my videos. So in my little tracking sheet, it's something like 5 or 6 days that I'm up to at the moment. I forget exactly how much it is. I can tell you in 1 second though. Here we go. This is my current 5 days, 20 hours, 49 minutes and 37 seconds. That is how long it would take to watch my content back to back if anybody was that sadistic to want to do that to themselves. But anyway, it's just a fun little stat that is. So this is the information that you get though from that TubeBuddy download. So it's good to have a sort of, a document, a catalogue, I should say, of all of your videos that would be then, easy to sort of search and perform some other analysis. So that is the sort of information that you get out of it. All I was going to do today, though, rather than actually diving into that, was to just literally have a look at where my videos were in terms of views and see, which ones were getting more traction, which ones were getting more views, and let's have a little look at that. So if I just move this up a little bit so I can fit more of this on the screen. The point of this was to have a little look at, obviously which type of content seems to do best on my channel. I've pretty much got a good idea about this because it's always consistent and I notice it straight away as soon as I post videos. I can tell you without even looking at this, generally videos about TubeBuddy don't do as well as videos about Stream Deck. Stream Deck are always the best performing videos that I have. And then Ecam is sort of second to that, I would guess. But in any case, let's have a little look. But some of the productivity ones as well are do well. So if I just come to literally just the number of views, I'm just going to sort by the number of views. It always makes me laugh which is the lowest number of views, and I'll show you why in a moment. But here we are with, let me just widen this a little bit so that we can fit more of this on the screen. Whoops, didn't want to do that. That's a bit better. I was just trying to fit more of this on the screen so we can see there. So if I click on the views, we've got the highest number of views is this one, which was about using profiles instead of folders on Stream Deck. As you can see, 14,000 views. The next highest is 4,000. Previously, actually, the second highest was the one that recently got taken down, which was my one about Downy, the app for downloading content off the internet, which included YouTube. So telling people how to download YouTube videos was against YouTube terms of service. So naughty on me for not realizing that and posting it anyway. But there you go. So that is my most popular. And this one is a bit of a surprise to me. It is a video about troubleshooting getting one of these little presentation remotes to work on a Mac. Technically, they say on the Logitech website, this is the Logitech, I forget the exact model now, Logitech R400. Technically, they say on the website it's not Mac compatible, but it certainly is because I use it all of the time. So it is compatible in that respect. So that was just something where I'd posted about using this remote with Ecam Live. And then somebody contacted me and said that they'd actually bought one of these remotes specifically to use with Ecam, but then they couldn't get it working on their Mac. So I just went through and made a video, which was basically to help them. I went through all the potential troubleshooting steps that I could see that they may have had, like, for example, not granting access in the security and privacy section in the Mac and all these sorts of different things. And so I just did a video about that, and it's turned out to be my second most highest viewed video with 4,000 views, which, as you can see, is sort of significantly more than the sort of ones below it. So it just goes to show that sometimes the videos that you didn't really intend to make, or you just happen to make sort of off the cuff, are often the ones that surprise you. And that's been the case with lots of the videos that I've made. There's been videos that I've made where I've thought, I'm not really happy with that. And there's a couple where I really debated whether to even put them out because there was just something about them I didn't really feel particularly good about. I think there's only ever been maybe 2 videos that I didn't actually put out at all, having made them. But yeah, there's been a few more where I've considered it. And it's often those ones that I've done really well and I've had positive feedback about. But what you'll notice here, if we look down this sort of list, so we've got Stream Deck. There's that one about the remote, another one about Stream Deck, another one here about Moom, so window management on the Mac. That one's been quite popular. Productivity, so using Text Expander, Keyboard Maestro, and I'm forgetting the name of it now. Keyboard Maestro, Text Expander, and Stream Deck, of course. Sorry, there we go. So it is another Stream Deck video. So, I mean, that is what I actually set the channel up for, was to be all about sort of Mac productivity. So I am pleased that those sorts of videos do get traction. Because as I say, that was the aim. It just seems to have had more of an Ecam Live focus since I started, just because I've been, I fell in love with the application that I was using to make the videos. So that's why there have been so many Ecam videos. So much so that I made a course about it as well. So Ecam Live Masterclass is where you can learn all about the application that I'm using right now to make this video and that I use to make all of my videos. It's really been a game changer for me in terms of creating content. And so you can check out the Ecam Live Masterclass at ecamlivemasterclass.com. If you're not already using Ecam, there's actually in there, once you've signed up, there's an offer code to get 2 free months of Ecam Live. In addition to the standard free trial as well. So basically you've got, almost a financial quarter to get it working for you. And it really can sort of transform the way that you create your video content if you're a content creator, or it can transform the way that you have your online meetings and your online presence in Teams, Zoom, and all of those sorts of platforms as well. So definitely check out Ecam Live and the Ecam Live Masterclass at ecamlivemasterclass.com. So that is, as I say, what has been a big focus of my channel. Although, like I say, it was intended to be more of a Mac productivity. So here we've got another one. Next down here is another Stream Deck. So this was a Stream Deck software update. This one was using Stream Deck and Ecam Live together, which is a sort of match made in heaven in my case. It really does sort of make the whole video production thing for me just flow pretty smoothly. So next one, setting up Stream Deck. You can see that there's a theme here, can't you? All of these top ones pretty much using Stream Deck with Zoom. So there's that one as well. Another Ecam one here. So which is better, Ecam Live or OBS? I'll save you the bother of watching that video, although you can feel free to go and watch it. But it's Ecam Live, obviously. Incidentally, the reason why I started using Ecam Live was because I did go down the OBS route. And at the time, I was using quite an old Mac really. There's no excuse for it. I should have been using a newer Mac, given that it was a business tool at the end of the day. But for whatever reason, I was actually holding out for the 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I held out and I held out and I held out. And before you knew it, my Mac was kind of years out of date. But in any case, the issue that I had was the video content that I was trying to create for online courses. I just couldn't do it in OBS. I could set everything up. I could make all the scenes. I could do things similar to what I'm doing in Ecam, but when I tried to actually record the stuff, there was poor frame rate and various other different issues that I have. As I say, it was down to my hardware, but nevertheless, that is what caused me to look for an alternative, and I'm so pleased I did, because I found Ecam Live has just been really transformative, and it is so much easier to use than OBS, and just to get everything up and running. It's so that's a little summary of of this video that I make, which was specifically about running OBS versus Ecam Live on an older Mac. I am going to update this video for basically running them on a much faster modern machine as well. So that was another popular one. Audio Hijack. By the way, one of the videos that I've got coming out in the next few days is a new updated Audio Hijack video, because they have just released a new version, Audio Hijack 4. And so there's a few new features in there. So I'll be making a video about that any day now. Next is Keyboard Maestro and Loopback, a video about Loopback, how to use Loopback, which we don't really need, or most people don't need now. So that was a video about audio routing using Loopback to basically send audio from Ecam Live into Zoom. Well, since they added the virtual mic feature in Ecam Live version 3.10, that's not as necessary as it once was. There's still a few niche use cases for it, but generally most people won't need that now. And then next we've got Stream Deck. This is part of this sort of 5 video series that I did, the beginner's guide to Stream Deck. Another one for introduction to Hazel. That is another productivity app. I did introduction to Hazel. I'm basically going to make another 4 of those videos as part of the videos that I'm making before my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. So that'll be a sort of 5-video set then of basically everything you need to get going with Hazel. Hazel, by the way, is a folder management tool, so you can have it perform all sorts of automation based on folder actions. So if you drop something in a folder, you can have it, move it to another location. You can have it perform actions on it, like resize images and things like that. So there's all sorts of different automations that you can do with Hazel. So yeah, this really is part of my sort of core productivity tools with on automation, I should say. So there is that one, Keyboard Maestro and Text Expander are kind of like the 3 sort of power tools that I use, and then obviously using Stream Deck to trigger those. Another popular one here was my Stream Deck calculator. So that basically just has the keys on the Stream Deck to control the calculator that you've got on your Mac, or you can use it on your PC calculator, of course. Just if you want that sort of desktop clunky calculator feel, which is often more satisfying. Another one about my USB foot pedal setup, and that was using some sort of cheap generic foot pedals and then using Keyboard Maestro to map the controls to then control various different things on my Mac. And since then, we've had the Stream Deck pedal that has been released, and mine should be arriving today, in fact. So I've got a note that it is out for delivery, and I've had to wait a little bit longer than most because it was it's been a while for it to be released here in Thailand, but yeah, it's on its way. So there will be a video coming on the actual Stream Deck pedal soon as well. The Shure MV7 review is another popular video. I'll be doing that was basically a review that I did after only limited use, so probably after a couple of weeks of it use or something like that. It was one of my first videos. In fact, look, it must have been on day 3. So I started on day 14th of May rather. So this was on May the 16th. It was one of the first videos that I made. I'll probably go back and have a look at that because it's probably a bit cringeworthy, to be honest, if I look back at it. And so yeah, but I do intend to do kind of like a 1-year review of it. Go for your life, Keely. Ask any questions. As you can see, you're going to have to fight over the mass crowds in the chat, but I'll try and keep an eye out for it. So yeah, there we go. That is about as far as I'm going to go down with this. But yeah, generally, the vast majority of my top performing videos are Stream Deck videos. So I will be having more Stream Deck videos, more Loop Deck videos coming out in due course as well. But I am glad to see that the automation ones are high up there as well, because that's going to be more of a focus going forward with the channel after I've finished off the sort of craziness of Cedar and the videos that I'm making here. I am going to be sort of being a little bit more focused on the content that I'm making, and with sort of basically an average of 1 coming out a day is what I'm looking to get back to. Although that's what I've been doing for the past week, actually, without intending it. I've just had so many things pop up that yeah, I've not got quite around to my my ridiculous Cedar schedule for the past week. But yeah, after the 14th of May, then it will be basically a video a day, and I'll be having like a different focus every week, and so it'll be on a specific topic or some aspect of Mac productivity and automation, how you can be more productive and professional with your Mac and applications on your Mac. So have I set up Keyboard Maestro macros for Pro Mouse functions that you made the Stream Deck keys for? No, I haven't actually. All I've done with that is Stream Deck is just controlling the Pro Mouse keyboard shortcuts. So I'll bring that up in a minute. I just thought it'd be interesting to look at my lowest performing video. So I'll wrap up this bit, and then I'll just come and have a look at that on my Stream Deck. So the views, the one thing that always makes me laugh about this, and it's not really as bad as it seems, but it does just make me laugh, If I come down to my lows and search from lowest, I've got a few here that are either private. Those are a few shorts actually that I never got around to posting for some reason or another. But if I come and filter by visibility and I just say that I want the visibility to be only the public ones, and then apply. I've got a couple of unlisted ones for people who follow me on Buy Me a Coffee and stuff like that. We got that one. Look at that. There, that would have been my second highest video, by the way. The one that was removed, 6,500 views. That would have been my second most popular video. But that was the easily download video from almost any website using Downy. And yes, it was removed. This video was removed from YouTube. But the after that one, though, the lowest number of views that I've had for any video was this one. And it's quite funny, really, because I actually put a thumbnail which says, no info in this video, just a request. And then it had the words, help me underneath it. And nobody clicked on it, or 16 people clicked on it. Now, that's a little bit unfair there. What I'm saying is basically, is that a reflection of human nature and how people don't click on things? They only click on things where you're offering something as opposed to asking for something. It was actually a video that I did about when I was doing a fundraiser for kids' cancer. So it says, please support my challenge, raising money to fight kids' cancer. And yeah, only 16 people clicked on it. But the reason is it wasn't discoverable. So it was literally only going out to the limited number of subscribers that I had at the time. And whether or not they saw it is a different matter. But if I go to YouTube Studio again, didn't mean to click out of that. So yeah, it's not as bad as it seems. It's not that human nature is that bad. I'm just telling myself that. But if I go back to the lowest number of views again, and this way, the other way around, there we go. The ones that perform worst after that are, there's a lot of TubeBuddy ones in there. So I know that generally, I mean, I am all about sort of productivity and stuff like that. So TubeBuddy is more to do with content creation, really, isn't it? And although I do cover Ecam as well, which is obviously related to YouTubers, I do find that my TubeBuddy videos, are not the most popular out of all of them. Bear in mind as well that some of these are a lot newer. So this was literally just from last month. So I don't expect it to have quite as many views. But I do notice when I post them that they don't sort of have as much traction as ones that are related to things like Stream Deck and so on. So there's lots of, and by the way, these ones with the red here are shorts, but this is this sort of TubeBuddy series that I've been doing. So even some of the ones that I posted recently that weren't TubeBuddy are not in this this bottom list here. So yeah, but lots of the Ecam stuff, the ones that are about Ecam updates tend to do a lot better. So if there's new features and new beta features and stuff like that, those tend to do better. But yeah, definitely it's the Stream Deck and productivity stuff that is going to be more of a focus going forward. I will still be making Ecam videos, obviously, because it's an application that I really love. But I'll also be using the Ecam Masterclass as a place to keep that all up to date. So Keely, just coming back, since I think it's just me and you, just coming back to the Stream Deck, and if I go to configure Stream Deck, these are 3 Pro Mouse buttons, and I've basically just used the function key that I've got in Pro Mouse. If I come to my Pro Mouse, where is it gone? Open Pro Mouse Preferences. So here I've got my keyboard shortcuts. So these are the shortcuts that I'm actually using for my zoom is function and command. Spotlight is function and option, as in this one. And then, to be honest with you, I don't use any of these. I could simply just remove all of these shortcuts because I don't use any of the drawing tools. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Don't use those. I don't even need to toggle the drawing tool on because actually this is something that just literally just catches me out sometime. So if I toggle the drawing tool on and then I inadvertently draw on the screen, so I don't need to do that, and I don't need that one either. That's all I really use. I just use the halo and the spotlight like that. So as you can see, we've got the commands there: function, option, function command, and function shift. And then in here, it's just got the function command there. In fact, I've just messed that up by function command. There we go. Was that one? What I might need to do is add in the modify key this way. Hang on a second. I think I did it then. Function command. No. Let's have a little look here. Where's it gone? is it that way? I've messed it up now and I can't redo it. There we go. Function. I'm pressing it wrong again. Let's try this again. Function. Why has it got that? I don't know why it's leaving that option in. There we go. Let's try this. There we go. You press one after the other. So I press the function key and then I press the command key. Oh, that was a bit fiddly, wasn't it? That was that was more fiddly than I was expecting it to be, actually. But yeah, it's if you hold down the function and the command together, it seems like it doesn't set it. Let's just try that once more. Click to assign. Right. So if I hold down the function and command key together and let them go, it's like it doesn't register it. But if I press function and then press command, that's how I did it. So now just to check, is that working? Let me have another little look. It's changed, but there's no keyboard shortcut to turn it on or off. Oh, you mean the actual thing itself? Yeah, there is I think there is a keyboard shortcut for that. You mean to toggle the halo on or off? Let's have a little look. Open mouse preferences. Keyboard shortcut. So turn mouse halo on or off is the function shift. Or do you mean to actually quit Pro Mouse? So I have got this one here, which I set this one up to actually, what does this one do? That relaunches Pro Mouse. There was a reason why I did this. Why was that? I can't remember now. You see, I set these things up. This is how I basically just restart my Pro Mouse. So I relaunched Pro Mouse, open Pro Mouse, and then this is one of these ones where, so that is turning the halo on and off. Now, why have I done it that way? But yeah, it's basically a hotkey is function shift is to turn the halo on or off. And I've got that relaunching Pro Mouse for some reason. This is one of those things where I set these things up and I'm not quite sure why. But function, for me, it is function shift is to turn the halo on and off. So if I do it on here, function shift, it toggles the halo on and off. And that is just set in the shortcuts. There must be some reason why I've done this, but yeah, it's escaping me at the moment. Open Pro Mouse preferences. And then it's just one of the shortcuts in there. So like that. You can also toggle. That's why that's not working now. I need to reset it in here. Function command. So you can have like the zoom function be on and off. I just leave those on all the time though, to be honest. So if you come up into Pro Mouse in the top, there is an option up here to toggle functions on and off, and you can turn on and off the zoom and the spotlight as well. So you can never activate it. But I just leave those on all the time, and then yeah, those are the keys that I have for that. So let me just come into here and see if I can get this one to work. So that should now be my my zoom tool. Whoops. This is a bit fiddly, isn't it, actually? Function, command. There we go. Right, let's try that. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know if that answered your question. I feel like I've just maybe confused the issue a little bit more, but there we go. So if that hasn't, then just let me know in the Discord. If anybody else has got any questions related to anything that I've covered, then definitely also head over to takeonetech.io/Discord. It's the easiest way to connect and join in the conversation. Obviously, feel free to like and subscribe and leave comments as well. But yeah, Discord is a great place for longer form conversations that are more than just a quick response or reply. I am going to sign off now because Doc, I believe, is over on his channel doing part 2 of the his YouTube setup, setting up a YouTube channel for his Creator 50 podcast. So I just noticed that before I jumped on. So that I'm going to head over there if he is still live. And if you're not, if you're watching on the replay rather, then check out the link and go and check out his 2 videos all about setting up YouTube channels from scratch. That's all for me. I will leave a link to some, whoops daisy, I didn't want to go to that. I wanted to do that. I'll leave a link to some other relevant videos for anyone watching on the replay over on the right hand side, and I'll catch you later. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.